program The Buzz, and we are live on Galaxy Television this Wednesday afternoon. It's the 17th of April 2024. Yesterday, the United Arab Emirates, Dubai precisely, got an equivalent of what would have been 2 years worth of rain in 24 hours. Consequently, the entire nation is flooded, as it were. Even aircraft are grounded at the airports. They can't take flights. People who are coming in cannot access the airport because it's flood everywhere. People's homes literally everywhere. I thought only in Nigeria you see those kind of things. But yesterday, even up till this morning, emergency workers are still trying to deal with all of the issues left behind by that wonderful rain. We'll get into why when you tamper with nature, you expect things like that to happen. My name is Patience. It's a pleasure to be here on the program this afternoon, and I'm not alone at the table. My guests are here. It's a pleasure to welcome them back. Mr. Adikbenro is here. He's joining us as a lecturer. He's also a seasoned journalist and, of course, a public affairs analyst, Mr. Nuruddin Adikbenro. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Adikbenro.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to our viewers. Well, I think it's a show that I'm appearing after Eid al-Fitr.
Exactly.
So we thank God for the mercy and for keeping us alive, irrespective of the challenges. We are still marching on, and that is what important. We pray and we hope that our leaders will do the right thing.
Thank you, and welcome again to the show. Also joining us at the table this afternoon, Mr. Segun Sopiton is here. He's joining us as a business and finance expert. He's also the chairman ACTS Network, which is a pro-good governance advocacy group, and he's also a public affairs analyst. Good afternoon to you, Mr. Sopiton.
Good afternoon, Mama P.
It's good to have you here on the show.
It's always a pleasure to be there. Not always a pleasure to talk about it, but always a pleasure to be there. At least I meet my friends every week.
You know? Welcome to the show, sir. And welcome, viewers. Don't forget, you're a very important part of the program. Use the number on the screen to join us. You can send a text message via that number. Plus, you can watch this show live on X, as formerly Twitter. Also, you can watch us on Star Times or download the Galaxy TV app and watch us on the go. Plus, you can watch excerpts of this program, more like a relay, later on Facebook and on YouTube. Having said that, heavy thunderstorms lashed the United Arab Emirates, dumping more than 2 years worth of rain on the desert city in just 24 hours, flooding major highways and also the international airport. The rains started late Monday evening, soaking the roads of Dubai, and the storms intensified at about 9 a.m. Yesterday, Tuesday, and continued throughout the entire day. By the end of yesterday, more than 142 mm of rain had soaked Dubai. Now, for those who don't know what that means, in a year, averagely, they record about 94.7 mm of rain. All right, that's about 3.73 inches of rain. But yesterday alone, they recorded about 5.59 inches. That 142 mm of rain, which is like almost double, you know, the normal, in just for 24 hours. Now, the Dubai International Airport acknowledged this morning that the flooding had left limited transportation options, and it has also affected flights as aircraft crews could not reach the airfield. Emirates in particular said it was suspending check-in for passengers from Dubai International from 8 a.m. today up until midnight because of operational challenges resulting from the incessant rain. Schools also across the United Arab Emirates have been shut down even before the storm, and government employees were asked to work remotely. Many other workers also stayed at home, although some who ventured out were very unfortunate because they found themselves stranded in deeper than expected water levels. Authorities have therefore sent tanker trucks out into the streets and highways to pump away the water, and also homes that were invaded by the floods, are seen in videos also bailing out, water and all of that. Now, me talking about tampering with nature, after we view this footage of major sites in Dubai, after the rain, we'll come back and talk about what this has something to do with nature. We'll be back. Those are some of the footages online showing the devastation by the rain yesterday. So according to reports online, this flooding in Dubai, happened due to cloud seeding. For those who don't know what cloud seeding is self-induced rain. We all know that Dubai largely is a desert city, and it doesn't rain as much as, like a normal country like ours. So over time, that country has engaged in inducing rain, when they do need rain. So this is what happened. Now, cloud seeding creates artificial rain when you inject substances such as silver iodide, potassium iodide, or solid carbon dioxide, that's dry ice, also liquid propane or salt into the clouds in order to induce precipitation. But what they didn't know was the effect was beyond the expectation. All right, so they didn't expect it to be like this, even though there are some other reports trying to cover that part of the whole story. But then this issue of cloud seeding is not new in Dubai.
Yeah, it's not new.
If you've been following the story,
even the Arabian countries,
how Dubai, became what it is today. I mean, then a lot of magic went on in that country.
Well, there is no way, irrespective of our knowledge, science, God is still on top of everything. Yes. So it's really, but one thing there is that the way they are responding to it is another thing that you recall that upon all this rain, we have never had any news from Dubai that any building collapsed. Have you noticed that? Because before you build in Dubai, upon that is high-rise building, they make sure the quality, the standard, and they don't change anything as requires that. But it shows this is an example of natural disaster, whether we like it or not. And for some certain people trying to post it and make it justify what we normally face, our own. Don't forget that NIMET has just warned about 28 states of imminent flood that will take place at this time. Lagos is included though, and they don't need to tell me. I can pick those places myself. Even in Lagos, I can pick those people that they did not burn them well. That flood, only if they leave that particular place. If this one is happening to them, ones like this, and the way they are responding, and I'm very, very sure they will go back to the drawing board and do some certain ways that they can be able to channel all those water. But like us, our own is annual ritual. We will just announce, make sure if you are within the river, run to a safe place. We will not create any space for them. They will not say run away. When the rain subsides, they will go back. But what is important there is that I think this is a lesson for Nigerian government, that rain has not started though, and our own, according to the predictions, the rain this year is going to come with heavy storms, especially from the early May, and it's going to go late, very late to after June, July. So I think our government and the agency in charge of that, thank God that the State Ministry of Environment, I could see their announcement here and there, they already announced, but they should do beyond that. Nigeria as a country, this is the time that ecological fund that we are collecting, this is the time to use them across all the states.
Thank you, Mr. Adebenro. Now, the UAE has reported that this particular flooding or the rain is the heaviest they have experienced in the last 75 years. It justifies what you have said. It is an emergency situation. Mr. Shopito, your reaction?
Well, I think let me start from where Mr. Adebenro ended about the comparisons.
Okay.
I always find it offensive when people, honestly, I get really offended when people take these occasional disasters that happen in developed countries and societies and use it to justify our constant chaos. In Nigeria, it's constant chaos. Every year, In fact, several times a year there's one calamity or disaster or the other. It's either a building is collapsing or we're getting flooded or whatever, or insecurity, and people still have the temerity to try to normalize what is happening there by comparing it to these occasional incidents. Anybody, I challenge anybody watching now to tell me the last time Dubai experienced this kind of flooding. It's once in a lifetime. It doesn't happen because everything is controlled there. So I think we need to take our lessons and stop accepting mediocrity, and you can see the response. And another point that I noted is there's been no loss of life. There's been no loss of life. Just one person. Just one. And even though, one life, you can't equate, you can't count it, but compare that to what happens in Nigeria every year.
Through flooding alone.
Hundreds of people will die. Just flooding, I'm not talking of any other thing, So it's very unfortunate. Finally, on this, I think it's a lesson to all humanity to understand that we're not God. God is God. The natural science will always advance, and we're always going to be pushing the frontiers of what's possible and what's not possible. But once in a while, nature will tell you that I am still nature. And I think that's what's happening here. So there'll be lessons to take from people that want to be doing cloud seeding going into the future to see how they can control it.
Exactly.
An excess.
This is material for some science intervention.
It's an area that I'm particularly interested in. I'm a futurist, so I like these types of things because this is the future. We're going to try to control climate.
But let's not forget, Dubai, UAE is a desert country and it's extremely hot, at certain times. So I understand why sometimes they need to induce rain, so that at least the temperature can cool down a bit. But of course, like my guests have said, God is always God, right? So He shows Himself, in some instances, just like what Dubai witnessed yesterday. Even though it's just one person who has been reported dead from this incident, if you do have loved ones in Dubai or the UAE as a whole, please call and check up on them.